Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Pink, and I'm gonna be doing another review this week. This time we're doing both of the Super Mario movies. Now, I'm doing this because I was invited by some friends to go watch the Mario Galaxy movie, and I have not seen the first one. So, I did myself the favor of watching the first movie on my own, so that I'm not completely lost. I remember hearing that a lot of people liked the first movie, and I was a bit iffy on it because there was the whole Chris Pratt voicing Mario, and Charles Martinet is nothing but a fucking cameo, and that low-key irked me a lot, since Charles Martinet is like the Mario voice, and now he's just the Mario ambassador, or whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. So just like my last review, I'm just gonna kind of describe the movie and give you my thoughts on it as we go along. Now, I'm recording this the day of going to go see it, but at 2 in the morning on opening day. I am a little sad because I saw a video where supposedly the Mario Galaxy movie is getting really bad reviews. I'm not gonna let that cloud my judgment for the movie. I want to, see it for myself and then see what I think, because to me that's what matters. But let's start with the first Mario movie. I forgot that this was animated by Illumination, since the studio that made the Despicable Me and Minions movies in my brain. But so the movie starts out with Bowser waging war on an ice kingdom slash penguin kingdom, and this was shown to us in the trailer initially for the movie. And it's weird having the whole celebrity voice actors for such a beloved franchise. Not that I don't trust them, I know Jack Black can pull it off, but I was a little iffy hearing the other actors, which I'll go into a little later. But the animation is crazy. This movie already looks sick. Colors, the color direction, art direction, a lot of it looks really good. As Bowser wages war on the penguin, we get the whole "do you yield" scene. And what I like about this is that even if, let's say, kids just really play Mario, they just know Bowser's the big bad. And yes, Bowser is the villain in most games. To actually see Bowser be threatening is cool. So I thought that was really well done. And throughout the movie, there's a lot of use of like the classic video game sound effects, and I thought that was a really nice, cute touch. This movie is basically a whole nostalgia bait. The music that they use throughout the movie for like montages and sequences are like from the 80s, 90s. So I think this movie was genuinely like nostalgia bait, but it really pulled off a lot of things well, in my opinion. We see that there's the superstar, and of course that's the all-powerful thing in the world. I remember hearing that there was like a local commercial scene in the movie, being that was like also like right in the beginning of the movie. It was really cringe, but of course that's the point of it, since it's supposed to be like a local commercial thing. And we find out that we're in Brooklyn. For those that don't know, I'm technically from Brooklyn, but I was raised in Jersey. And we get our first Charles Martinet cameo. It was really obvious he's this old dude playing on an arcade machine, and he does the whole jump man jumping and woohoo. I'm just like, oh, there's the Charles Martinet cameo. Hearing Chris Pratt as Mario still feels a bit weird to me. I remember seeing posts that he did on social media where he was like, "You want to hear what I sound like being Mario? Well, you gotta find out by watching the movie." And it just felt weird because I thought he was just gonna do his own voice. And so, to my surprise, Chris Pratt did a decent job with voicing Mario. Like, yeah, he didn't do the "whoa, yeah, it's me" bullshit that we all expected, like Charles Martinet would, since he is the Mario voice. But I'm glad that it wasn't just flat Chris Pratt voice. That's one of my biggest things when it comes to studios hiring big actor to voice whatever character in any movie, because that's supposed to draw people into the movie. But if they can't fucking voice act, then I feel like it's just gonna fall flat on its face and it's gonna just suck throughout. But props to Chris Pratt, he did a decent job with Mario. And Charlie Day, I don't know much. I've seen clips of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but he actually fit Luigi really well. I'm just gonna out myself right here. I usually watch movies and anime at 1.5 speed because I was used to living life rushed when I worked in fast food, especially when I was running said fast food place. If you know my IRL lore, you know. When I was hearing Luigi's phone go off, I was like, wait, that sounds really familiar. So I slowed the movie back down to 1x speed and then I finished the rest of the movie in 1x, so please don't come after me, especially my friend Victor. But hearing Luigi's phone be the GameCube theme was a really cool, cute touch to the movie. I'm gonna be listing off any references that I noticed. I was trying to pay attention to the movie first and foremost. There are gonna be some little references that I noticed here and there, like the Sunshine Travel Agency, which is like, Super Mario Sunshine, or the Punch-Out Pizzeria. Who get his Punch-Out? And then they have a whole sequence where Mario and Luigi get a job since they started a plumbing company after they quit their actual plumbing company, which is fun lore for the movie itself. But when they get a call, they're on their way to the client. They do this whole getting to the place as if it was an actual Mario level. I thought that was really cool, especially with the perspective going from 3D to 2D, similar to like the new Super Mario Brothers U and Wii game and all this other shit, Mario Wonder. They get a job to clean some people's drip, and when they get to the person's house, it's one of those like modern day ugly ass fuck ass designed houses. Not the biggest fan. I did notice that they had a duck hunt painting, so that was really cool, and a literal dog fight because Luigi happened to step on a bone kibble treat thing. This dog just wanted them dead. So basically they fixed the pipe, but because of this dog being angry, they have like a little scuffle, end up fucking up the entire piping system, which ends up fucking up the city somehow. I found it interesting that they decided to give Mario and Luigi an entire family. I don't remember this in the trailers. I don't remember if they even put that in. Seeing Mario have a stereotypical giant Italian family was pretty funny. And I didn't know until I saw the credits of the movie that Charles Martinet also voiced Mario's dad. Now that's a neat touch. I've been saying that a lot throughout this video so far, but that was pretty cool. And it's also funny / ironic that Mario in this version hates mushrooms. Can't because he's always eating mushrooms. Some other cute references when Mario and his father have like a little argument was that Mario was playing Kid Icarus on his NES, and he has like I think a Star Fox plane on top of his TV. I never played a Star Fox game, but I always loved the music from it, especially in Smash. Pauline is a news reporter. When Mario and Luigi see that the city's getting fucked up technically because of their fault from the piping system, they decide, oh, this is how we're gonna save Brooklyn. So they decide to go to see the site and end up going into this tube system. They end up getting lost. They have like not as like a horror thing, but Luigi gets sucked up off screen through a pipe. Mario follows suit. The warp sequence was really pretty because the sky is just beautiful. It's a lot of pretty colors like pink, orange, red, similar to like the image I'm using for this video. Really cool looking. During this pipe sequence, we see that they're trying to establish a theme of Mario and Luigi always having to be together, that things are going to work out when they are together, and they get split up, ironically. Mario ends up going to the Mushroom Kingdom, but Luigi gets sent off to the Dark Lands, which is really reminiscent of Luigi's Mansion, even though I haven't played those games. Not yet, at least. But it was cool to have like a really creepy atmosphere for that part of the world. To the Mushroom Kingdom! And we are introduced to Toad. Now, I remember that he was going to be voiced by Keegan-Michael Key, and hearing him in the trailer, I had hopes for him. It's a completely different voice. It doesn't sound like him, which is a good thing for me when it comes to voice acting. There are exceptions to that rule. So it is good that Keegan-Michael Key does not sound like himself, for lack of a better phrase. And what I really liked is that a lot of the OST is just different renditions of the classic Mario themes, and I thought that was really nice. I do like when there's orchestral renditions of songs because they are their own thing, but they're still recognizable as those iconic themes. So I love that music-wise. We get introduced to like these super 3D world-ass pipes that Mario has to go through, which looks scary. Reminds me a bit of like the Futurama tube system. But Peach's castle looks awesome when they first show it off, and shout out to Anya Taylor-Joy, since she was in a lot of movies, I believe, when this came out. She did a good job, don't get me wrong. I just kind of wish they got someone else to do her voice, because she was one of the examples for me where it comes to the voice acting falling a little flat. Like, yeah, she can modulate her voice here and there, make the character feel real, but it didn't really hit to me throughout the movie. It's like, yeah, this is Peach. It's just, oh, another celebrity voice actor. And even though this is a kids movie, they use a lot of like, I don't want to say adult terms, but saying we're going to annihilate Bowser is crazy. Mario and Peach are introduced to each other. I love that, but I do like how they subvert your expectations when it came to Mario and Peach meeting each other, because they do the whole slow-mo, their eyes meet thing, and that's usually the, oh my god, they're gonna fall in love, but she just fucking flips him. Mario wants her help to get back Luigi, and she's like, well, we gotta save the kingdom type beat. We're introduced to like this whole obstacle course that Mario has to get through so that he can go with Princess Peach to save Luigi. And okay, Princess Peach, you could like do backflips and shit. I did like that they added the float thing, even though it was towards when she finished the course, which was pretty cool. I wrote in my notes, okay, mission impeachable. I do like how they introduced the power-ups in this movie. So you basically have to fucking eat them, except for the fire flower, you just touch it for some reason. When Mario tries to do the course for himself, I should mention that it is cool that if we're thinking like video game wise, Mario throughout the movie is always in his like small form. If we're thinking of like the OG Mario, he's in his base form, I guess we can say. And of course, with the mushroom, he can get bigger and stronger, and he can break blocks and stuff, and like, you know, stuff from the video game, which is nice to see on screen. When Mario goes to do the course himself, we get I Need a Hero as a montage, and I do like the chemistry that Mario and Peach have with one another. And the Bowser Castle looks really cool. I just like the aesthetic of it. And Luigi gets taken by some Shy Guys in a Sniffit, I believe, and we get a little flashback of baby Mario and Luigi getting bullied by this baby Logan Paul looking motherfucker. Peach rallies up the Toads to announce that she's gonna go save the kingdom, and she's taking Mario with her. And I love that the Toad's like, wait, who's that? And she's like, he's not important. And they just leave. Except Toad that we were introduced to also goes along with them. I do like Toad's character. Yes, he's a bit annoying, but his overconfidence kind of reminds me of live action Usopp, especially in season 2. We also see some Yoshis in the background, which sad that we didn't get any in this one, but there's Yoshi in the next movie. And I completely forgot about the Peaches song. I knew it was coming up, but I didn't know it was just gonna just pop up out of nowhere. I didn't know that Kamek was voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson, a legend in the voiceover world. Because when Kamek comes up, he just has like the typical henchman voice where it's pretty nasally, and also you can tell he's a bit hunched kind of voice. And when I looked at the voice actors after I finished the movie, I was like, wait, that was Kevin Michael Richardson? What the fuck? Glad that there's actual voice actors in this movie too. I do like that we were shown how Princess Peach would use the fire flower, and of course her clothes changing along with it. And we also get to see baby Peach in a flashback, which was adorable. We also have a conversation where Mario and Peach talk about how Peach should visit Brooklyn when their adventure is over. And Peach offhand mentions that there's a whole universe with many galaxies. It's like they were sequel baiting from the start. And then we get Bowser being super jealous of Mario because Princess Peach is hanging out with another man. And he finds out from Luigi, after being tortured for like a minute, that Mario is his brother. And Bowser goes straight up, yeah, I'm gonna kill his brother. Like, bro, this is a kid's movie. Like, let's see how he feels when I kill his brother. And Luigi gets taken prisoner and is thrown into a bunch of cages, where there's also like this really depressed Lumi, who I think was voiced by an actual child, saying the most depressing shit, like wanting the sweet release of death. Like, bro, this is a kid's movie. Mario and Peach go to the Jungle Kingdom so that they can get Donkey Kong's help, and we get another sequence where they introduce like a carts, because haha, Mario Kart, and we get Take On Me. All of these songs, I'm just like, damn, they wrote this for the older people. And you can tell that they had a lot of fun with this movie. I thought that Donkey Kong was going to be the king, but Cranky Kong is, which makes sense, being that he's the OG Donkey Kong for like video game lore. I was a little afraid of Seth Rogen's Donkey Kong, but not to discredit him, I do like him a lot in Invincible as Alan the Alien. He's really good in that role. Except for that one obviously meme-worthy sequence of Alan and his girlfriend fucking a lot in that one episode of the latest season of Invincible. Like, I did not need to hear Seth Rogen moaning a lot. But the Coliseum that we are shown looks really cool. Like, it kind of reminds me a bit of the Mario Strikers Coliseums in a sense. Maybe that's a reference to it, I'm not 100% sure. But I loved when Donkey Kong is actually introduced, they had the fucking Donkey Kong Country 64 theme. DK! Donkey Kong song, come on. I thought that was great. And Diddy and Dixie also having like a tiny cameo was cool. Not gonna lie, Seth Rogen does a pretty good job as DK. And then them being, I assume, legally obligated to say the phrase, it's on like Donkey Kong in this movie. And I was like, oh, they can do it because they're Nintendo, haha. But what fucking took me out was basically Mario and Donkey Kong have to fight, and Mario has to beat Donkey Kong in order to have the Jungle Kingdom on their side. And as Donkey Kong beats the shit out of Mario, I get it's supposed to be one of those like intimidating laughs, kind of like haha upper hand type shit, but hearing the This fucking Seth Rogen laugh is not threatening. I fucking died. Mario ends up getting the cat suit, and that's how he ends up beating Donkey Kong, and they become frenemies slash allies for now. And Cranky Kong's like, hey, you guys need carts. So they get a cart ready for Mario, Toad, and Peach. It's a side thing, but why the fuck is Princess Peach caked up, bro? And she also has a motorcycle. That's not a cart, technically. But I did find it funny that Toad got a whole monster truck for himself while Mario got the basic car, but it looks really nice in this movie. They want to have like an ambush thing on Bowser's side, but somehow Bowser's team finds out, so he goes to intercept them. And it was cool that we got to see Rainbow Road in this and the hover wheels that were introduced in, I think, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, unless it came before. I don't remember. I've only played a couple Mario Kart games. I love the cartoon violence in this movie, even though people straight up die. Like, there's a lot of explosions. They talked a lot about killing, and it was funny with the one Koopa that was trying to legitimately kill Mario. It was just like, you're dead. With like this giant spike monster truck thing, crushes Mario's cart. But it was cool that he was a blue shell, and I was like, oh shit, they pulled out a lot of stops for this movie. Princess Peach and Toad go back to the Mushroom Kingdom to evacuate the city, essentially. I might intersplice the clip, I'm not 100% sure, but with the city in panic, it reminds me of this one animation that came from a Game Grumps Let's Play of them playing Super Mario Galaxy, where the Toads are essentially going to war. I couldn't get that image out of my mind during that. And then Peach just gets a halberd, like she's ready to kill some shit, until she meets up with Bowser and is basically coerced into marrying him. Like, damn, again, a kid's movie. And then Bowser's like, yeah, as a ritual, we're gonna sacrifice all of these prisoners. I'm like, bro, what is with all the mentions of death in this movie? But we get a cool ass moment with Princess Peach where she gets an ice flower that was hidden underneath her bouquet, and she starts kicking some ass, which was pretty cool. Saves the prisoners momentarily. And we get Fire Donkey Kong. I wasn't expecting that actually throughout the movie. It was cool that we got the Tanuki suit and Mario couldn't control himself flying throughout. And it felt a little weird that they didn't reference that it was a Tanuki suit. They just called it a raccoon or a dog suit. Like, we all know that's what it's called, dude. And Luigi almost dies. Bowser sends up, he called it like the Bill Destroyer, I think, but it's basically a bonsai bill. For some reason they couldn't say that. And Mario finds a way to subvert the bonsai bill by shoving it into the warp pipe that led back to his city, and it exploded and somehow reversed isekai everyone into Brooklyn. But this movie really shows me that Jack Black is really good as a villain. Like, yeah, there are inflections here and there that show that this is Jack Black doing the voice, but overall his performance was really great throughout the movie. And even though he's like fucking up Donkey Kong and Princess Peach and everyone, they had the traditional Bowser roars interspliced in there as well, which was pretty cool to me. We also see a Jumpman arcade machine, which I think is what Giuseppe, the initial Charles Martinet cameo character, was playing on. The star was shown. Princess Peach gets it away from Bowser, since if he gets it, he'll destroy Brooklyn, and Mario's on his way to get it. Bowser unleashes a giant flamethrower, but somehow Luigi grabs a man pipe and not sacrifices himself, but protects Mario from the flame. And he could have died in the process. They get the star, beat the shit out of Bowser, and somehow everyone in Brooklyn is cool with all the giant animals and monsters that just appeared and destroyed the city. And we even see that dog that wanted to kill Mario and Luigi give them like a head nod of approval. So yay, Mario gets to become a hero, saves Brooklyn along with his brother. And they had a whole theme of literally making Mario feel small, like talking about how short and useless he is, even with like the power-ups and everything, and him basically saving the town, you know, full hero's journey kind of thing. But the movie ends on them going back to the Mushroom Kingdom for whatever reason. They do like a celebratory jump, and that depressing ass Lumi just comes back. Is it over? I knew that there was going to be a post-credit scene. What I was not expecting was that it was just the rest of the Peaches song. And that's the end of the first Mario movie. I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting, because I thought it was just going to be like a giant cash grab, but it was really enjoyable. I'm a little sad that I've heard that people aren't liking the Mario Galaxy movie, but I'll see. I don't know too much about the movie aside from it being called Mario Galaxy movie, so being where I work, I also saw, you know, merch to promote the movie. I know that there's Bowser Jr. He has this cool looking form that's obviously a reference to Mario Sunshine. I remember hearing that Yoshi was going to be in the movie and also voiced by Donald Glover for some reason, and that there's a cameo from a non-Mario but still Nintendo character. Looking up the images for this movie, I got spoiled, and also I went on Twitter for like 2 seconds and saw who the character was. But I want to see what they do with said character. I'll mention it once I come back from the movie. So I guess see you in like 2 seconds. So it has been a while since I saw the Mario 2 movie. I went to go see the movie with my boys Eric and Julian. We all enjoyed it, but I do see why people have their criticisms, which I will go into. I'm gonna go 100% spoilers into this. Plus, I'm posting this like a week or two after. I think people have had enough time. This is your extra spoiler warning before I delve into everything. Also, pardon me, I got sick during the process and I was gonna wait till after my voice got better, but low-key, fuck it. Mario 2 starts out with showing us the hub world of the Mario Galaxy game, which I thought was a neat touch. We have Rosalina reading a bedtime story to the Loomies, a story about Peach being a hero. Although the little baby Loomies want a story about Mario and Luigi because they're cool, they're the heroes. We get Bowser Jr. immediately introduced into the movie and he kidnaps Rosalina. She tries to fight him off but gets taken away anyway. And then we cut to, I haven't played the game, but in one of the Mario Odyssey levels, I don't know what the world is called, but it's basically the Mexico world. And the reason why the Mario brothers are here is because they were called to fix an issue. They go into one of the caves, find a clogged pipe, and end up finding a little Yoshi. And hearing that Donald Glover was going to be voicing Yoshi, I was a bit iffy. I think I mentioned that a little before, but I am so glad they did not actually make Yoshi speak. No offense to Donald Glover, but I'm glad it was just typical Yoshi sounds, the sounds he's known to make. Credits to Donald Glover because he did a good job at sounding as Yoshi. Yoshi warms up to them very quickly. We get a montage of Yoshi, how we got there by him starting out in Brooklyn. I assume maybe from that explosion from the first movie. He hatches and then just goes on a spree, ends up getting chased out and runs into a pipe, and that's how we got stuck. We found out why Bowser Jr. kidnaps Rosalina, and that's because he wants to use her power, or more so her life source, to power his planet that he created. I want to say the world building in this movie is crazy because they're just using a lot of like references to a bunch of games, which is cool as like a fan, but I know as someone that wants to actually enjoy a movie, I know one of the biggest criticisms is just reference galore. In my opinion, I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, I like having the references here and there. They kind of do at one point just throw out a bunch of shit, and it was a bit hard to see every single one in the moment, but I think they're neat touches and they're just there to make nostalgic people happy. Again, these movies are nostalgia bait, so I kind of feel like that complaint goes out the window a bit, but I do understand why people don't like that. Rosalina tries to fight back again, but gets taken down through Bowser Jr.'s paintbrush powers. So in this movie, we're kind of mixing Mario Sunshine with the Mario Galaxy games somehow. We cut back to Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi getting ready for Peach's birthday. Luigi and Yoshi both tease Mario for liking Peach with, "Ooh, you think she's cute." Mario gets a gift ready for her. As they go back to the kingdom, Toad immediately gets jealous of Yoshi, which I thought was pretty funny. But Mario and Peach get some alone time, and when Mario gives her the gift, it's revealed that it's her iconic parasol. Starbits fly through the sky. I made a joke to Julian and Eric that I was like, wiggle the Wiimote at the screen, until there's one big crash, ruining their little cute moment. And it was the Lumi that was with Rosalina in the beginning. They all nurse Lumi back to health, and the Lumi tells them that Rosalina was kidnapped, and if they looked for Peach, Peach would help them. I thought it was cool that the same Lumi turns into a launch star, and Toad and Peach go find Rosalina. Peach leaves a note for M, which references Mario 64. There was no cake reference, sadly. Mario and Luigi and Yoshi are all left responsible for the kingdom. While they're out, they help people off, and they show off a lot of the new powers in this movie, like the frog suit, a bunch of references to the old levels. Pretty neat things here and there. Bowser is still tiny, and he wants to be free and turn back to normal size. Bowser Jr. comes to pick up the castle, and Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi end up evacuating everyone in the castle. Bowser Jr. uses his machine from the Mario Galaxy games to basically abduct the castle. So we get our first fight, but it's in space! Bowser Jr.'s like full paint form was a really cool design to me. Seeing the toys at the place where I work at didn't really translate well, but in the movie it looks really cool. There's an explosion from the giant machine that he had while Yoshi walks around in it, and they end up crashing onto like the bee planet from the Mario Galaxy game. Bowser ends up getting free. They see the Queen Bee's castle and they make their way to it. Peach and Toad get to the Gateway Galaxy thingy. You see a lot of NPCs from a lot of the other games. Like you see some pinatas, the little robot people from the Mario Galaxy movie. I thought all of this was really cute. We get a Peach flashback from when she was a baby, where she was with Rosalina and gets let go of. There's one of those monkey enemies from Super Mario World that ends up tricking Toad and steals his shit. A chase ensues, and they find a kind of disguised wall that leads into this really cool underworld gambling city. I really like the design of this place. It looks really cool. We cut back to the Mario brothers, and Bowser ends up pissing off Mario and hits him, making him normal sized. Peach and Toad get to the casino place, and we get Wart from from Super Mario 2, the Bomb Rat and Birdo. All of this was dope. I was not expecting them, and I'm glad that wasn't spoiled, to me at least. We get our second fight scene, and there's a lot of good action in this movie. A lot of the fights are really well choreographed. We get the little ninjas or the ninja guys, the penguin suit for Toad, and Peach beats the shit out of Wart. The Mario Brothers, Yoshi, and Bowser get to the Queen Bee's castle. They try to get to Gateway Galaxy, but they're made prisoners because of the damage that they did to the flowers. Bowser offers himself in their place to work the fields, essentially. And this would have been cool, but I can see a lot of the criticisms comes here because Bowser Jr. ends up just finding Bowser and abducts him and basically rescues him. He goes, "Oh, that's my dad!" As they're reunited, you can tell that Bowser Jr. really loves his dad. We get a flashback of Bowser Jr. as a baby, and there's a cute puppet show about Bowser and Bowser Jr. taking over the galaxy and the universe, essentially. We cut back to Peach and Toad, and we get a Rob cameo. It's really dumb, but I love his comedy in the movie. It's reminiscent of the Zootopia sloth guy because he's old and a machine. Me funny. I loved Rob. Seeing the Angry Video Game Nerd video was how I found out about him, and of course Smash Brothers Brawl. Rob is the boy. To get to where Rosalina is, Peach and Toad need a pilot. We see the Pikmin rocket ship. I've never played a Pikmin game, but it was cool to at least see the Pikmins in the movie. I don't think they had Olimar there or any of the other pilots in the games, but it was cool to see the ship. Now sadly, I was spoiled this like a day or so before I went to go see the movie, but we get Fox motherfucking McCloud. I've never played a Star Fox game except for the demo that Brawl used to give you, which was like what, 2 minutes and then it was done. But he looks really good in this movie. We get a bit of his backstory as to how we got there. We are introduced through this like anime scene of him and the rest of the Star Fox gang. It was so cool to see them. I kind of wish they went back to that at some point, but spoilers, they don't. Mario, Luigi, and Yoshi are reunited with Peach and Toad, and of course they meet Fox, and all of them become friends, and they go to make their way to see Rosalina. But on the way there, Bowser and Bowser Jr. show up right then and there, and they start a fight, an aerial fight. Do a barrel roll. Insert the do a barrel roll clip because of course they had to reference it multiple times. Hee hee. As they fight, Fox takes out the turrets, but Bowser Jr. straight up wants to kill them. Which again, like I said in Mario 1, it's so funny but so weirdly dark that this is an Illumination movie and they're like, let's fucking kill them. Bowser says no because, well, they're kind of my friends. So Jr. gets a baby gun kind of thing, and it looks like the Super Scope, which I thought was a neat touch. And by baby gun, it's a literal baby gun because he fires it at Mario and Luigi, turning them into baby Mario and Luigi. Due to this, they crash into like a dinosaur planet. Baby Mario and Luigi run into a T-Rex. There's a bit of a chase, and I think that they genuinely should have died. There's many times throughout both of these movies where everyone should have died at one point. But it's a kids movie. Let's say they should kill and die. During this chase, we get baby Toad, which Toad is just smaller. It was cute, but Yoshi ends up turning the T-Rex into a baby. Mario and Peach bond a bit, and Luigi sends out a distress signal. Bowser and Bowser Jr. see the planet that Bowser Jr. made, and again that they need Rosalina's power to power it. The baby Loomies back at the Galaxy Hub world are partying since they don't have anyone to tell them what to do, but they knock over the radio and somehow end up hearing the distress signal, and they go to get them on the Galaxy Hub world ship. On the Galaxy Hub world, Peach finds out about her own backstory, how Rosalina separated them so that they can save Peach, since with both of them, their powers combined, they can create cosmos, and how the Toads raised Peach. The Bowser planet looks really cool. Like, yeah, these are villains and like they have lava roller coasters and shit, but this world looks really cool. But with this and that underground city before is where they throw a lot of the references that you're not gonna get unless you're watching it and you get the chance to pause. In the theater, of course, you don't get that, so a lot of the references are just gonna go over your head. At least for me, it did. They start using Rosalina's cosmic power, but it more feels like it's her actual life force to me. So again, they're making effort to kill people in this movie. Fox uses the hub ship to find the Bowser planet, and Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Peach use a launch star to infiltrate the planet. Mario and Peach split up as one team, and Luigi and Yoshi split up as another team. I was gonna have a complaint throughout this movie that Yoshi didn't do his his flutter jump, but during this infiltration he did, so that was a really cute touch for me. Yoshi and Luigi also end up finding some power-ups. Mario and Peach get spotted and they're sent into a trap, which is of course a Mario level. I did like in this sequence that they showed both the OG Mario levels as well as the 3D version of it at the same time. I thought that was a neat touch. Bowser says he'll take care of him, and they end up on a bridge, which if you played the original, oh shit, it's the bridge. And he has his axes, which again, huge nostalgia bait for the OG fans. And of course, they beat him like they do in the OG games, destroy the bridge and let him fall into the lava. In my head, I was like, bro, if we get Dry Bowser, yo, it's fucking dunsies. That's gonna be cool. And lo and behold, we get Dry Bowsers. His design is different compared to the original, but I kind of had a feeling they would do that. But it's not a bad looking design, I don't think. Bowser Jr. gets into his paint form and engage in a fight. Mario ends up separating Peach so that she can go save Rosalina while he fights. Peach ends up getting on like this contraption that Rosalina is trapped in, and Mario gets his ass beat, but Luigi and Yoshi come with powers. I remember seeing these in like montages of the game. I haven't played every single Mario game. Mario ends up getting this drill power, which I think is from the first Mario Galaxy game. Luigi gets this cloud power up, which I think is from the second Galaxy game, and Yoshi gets this fuck ass floaty power, which I think is just the P balloon from Super Mario World, unless there's just another version of the floaty shit from the newer games, which I don't know, maybe from Wonder or something. I don't know, I never played it. And again, the action and the fights in this movie are really cool. They're really well choreographed. Mario and Luigi get their ass beat, and Yoshi ends up hitting Bowser Jr., which causes his brush to fall. Luigi gets it, and they're like, use the brush! And in my head, I immediately thought of Chalk Zone with, maybe because my voice is all fucked up, I can do it, but Rudy, you gotta draw something! For my Chalk Zone beeps. Anyone else is 30 in this audience. But Luigi ends up drawing Mr. Game & Watch, which I was not expecting, but makes sense for the stick figure equivalent of a character design. Mr. Game & Watch ends up beating up Dry Bowser. Bowser Jr. gets pissed off and basically just murks Mr. Game & Watch. He gets his brush back and he summons a giant purple dragon, which in my opinion, I feel like they could have made this Ridley, but maybe they didn't have the rights technically to use him, so purple dragon is close enough. And for some reason, even though Bowser Jr. created it, the dragon ends up eating Bowser Jr. and Mario gets that one, I don't know the name of the power, but it lets him fly. Okay, I did like a 2-second Google search. This is the flying Mario, which is activated by collecting a red star. Sure. But with this, Mario ends up flying into the purple dragon and ends up saving Bowser Jr. He's just still struggling to open the thing where Rosalina's imprisoned in, kind of realizes that, wait, if we touch hands, we can create the cosmos. But in my opinion, Rosalina looks like she's close to dead here. But she musters up some strength and they end up touching hands through the glass, breaking the contraption, and they fix the planet by giving life to it. Fox comes back with the hub ship and the Loomies reunite with Rosalina. One of my favorite moments from this movie is when we're getting our happy ending, so to speak, and they're like, let's go back to the castle. And remember, the castle was thrown off into space and crash landed on a planet. So that shit gone. And I think with Luigi, this is the castle died. So they end up rebuilding it. Hell yeah, use the Loomies. Child labor, let's go. I thought it was a super cool touch that they rebuilt it with a montage in the style of Super Mario World, which looks really cool. But I personally never liked the way Peach looked when they had her front facing at the end of the game, when, like, you know, when you get the congratulations, you're like, oh, cool, oh, you beat the game, woo. And they basically just color swapped her to be blue for Rosalina. I did not like how she looked there. But when they were done, Mario gets a feather, of course from Super Mario World, and plants a flag on top of the castle, and that's the end of the movie. We have two post-credit scenes. The first one is that we cut to what Julian was joking that was the Metal Gear Solid level, so it could be hinting at to a Smash movie maybe. We're basically in a jail cell with Dry Bowser as just a disembodied head and Bowser Jr. trying to dig their way out of prison. And that depressing Loomy from the first movie is the warden for some reason. So good callback to the first movie. I like that a lot. And the second is the same monkey trying to scam again, but it gets decked in the fucking face. And it's revealed that Daisy is in the movie. Oh shit. now they're sequel baiting again for a third movie. What, is it gonna be a fucking Mario Kart movie or some shit? I don't know. They kind of just meshed like 2 games into one for this one. But Daisy's tan. She's Latina. Let's fucking go. In my opinion. In my notes, I wrote, what the fuck are people talking about? This movie was great. But hearing out the criticisms, because initially I just heard movie was shit, which put me off a bit because I don't like when people just say it's shit because they just didn't like it. I prefer when people give out, you know, reasons as to why. And the movie does not give itself time to breathe. So it's just gas the entire movie, which I do understand that as a valid criticism because there's no depth to this movie. The characters don't have any time to reflect. It's just thing happens, another thing happens, so let that lead on to the next thing. I do think that Anya Taylor-Joy did a much better job as Peach in this movie. Brie Larson did a good job as Rosalina, and I kind of wish we got more of the Star Fox team in like the Illumination 3D style. Overall, if you like Mario, this is a good turn your brain off movie. There's no like emotional thing that's gonna make you cry or anything, I don't think, but I still enjoyed it regardless. I don't think my time was wasted watching this movie. Yeah, there could have been more character depth, but I'm not gonna say it's a kid's movie. But as it is, it's okay. Not the greatest, not the worst. I did have a more fun time with this movie compared to the first one, but it makes more sense since now that the Mario characters are already established. We don't have to introduce anyone except for Rosalina and Yoshi and Fox, of course. Speaking of Rosalina, I do remember a criticism that I saw online where they said that Fox McCloud has more screen time than Rosalina, which valid, yes, but also Rosalina was in prison for most of the movie, so I don't know if people wanted more scenes of her like struggling or whatever. Those are my thoughts on both movies. Have you seen them yet? Do you plan on seeing them if it's still in theaters? I don't know how much money this movie has made, but it's a kid's movie. It's Mario. It's gonna make a shit ton of money, so they're probably already working on the third one. With that, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I have been Pink, and I will see y'all whenever.